guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are doing well. So in light of recent events and the general state of the world at the moment, I really wanted to come onto here and make a video that might help some people. So as you can see from the title of this video, I am going to be telling you how to get the job at Starbucks. If you want to hear about my experiences working at Starbucks, I have made a couple of videos on it. I made one video talking about the pros and cons of working there and another one just with some funny stories. So I will leave them both linked in the description box below. Anyway, I know long intros are really boring and I'm not going to babble. I'm going to get straight into it. But before I do, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss more of my future videos. I post twice a week. If you have any questions, any queries, anything you want to say, leave it down below and I'll get back to you. Anyway, so the first step, obviously, is going to be to apply. You're not going to get the job if you don't apply. So there's a few ways that you can do this. You can apply directly through the Starbucks website. You can apply through a recruitment website such as Indeed.com, or you can go into the store directly. I would recommend personally going into the store directly. I know that when I worked there and people would bring in their CVs to the manager, he loved it. I think he thought that it showed initiative, passion, drive, motivation to work there. And I have heard before that sometimes people have taken CVs in and they've said to apply online, but I do think that it is really beneficial to take your CV in and let them meet you face to face, because it will just show what kind of person you are, and going into the store will also give you a vibe of whether you want to work there. You know, it's important both ways. You want them to like you and you need to like them as well. So I would definitely recommend going in. So when you're writing your application, there are a few things that I would recommend you do. First of all is to go onto the Starbucks website, go onto the job description and see what they require of you, and make sure in your application you show times where you have shown those characteristics. So for example, I know that Starbucks like you to be unflappable. That's what it said in the application that I saw just now when I was researching for this video. So if you need to show that you are unflappable, talk about how you've gone through an experience where you haven't let a stressful situation faze you. Make sure that you demonstrate those key qualities in your application. If you don't have any past experience, don't worry. I know that Starbucks hire people with absolutely no experience, but even if you don't have any past work experience, you can talk about experiences you've had at school, where you've worked in a team. You can talk about times when you've had to think on your feet. I would definitely use all the examples, pull out all of your experiences to show that you have what it takes to be an amazing barista. In your application, it's also really important that you show and you demonstrate that you want to work at Starbucks. They are probably going to receive so many generic applications for any old shop that don't show the drive for Starbucks in particular. So for example, you could have a CV that says, I work really well as a team. Great, okay. But if your application says, I work really well as part of a team and that's why I love Starbucks because they're really inclusive to everybody and they bring people together and blah, 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? You need to tie in that you want to work at Starbucks and show you're driven and motivated and you love Starbucks as a brand. In your application, you also need to show them what you can bring to the role. So I know on the website it says it needs to bring people that can spread the joy and whatever of Starbucks as a brand. So you need to show in your application that you are going to do your best for Starbucks. You're going to work hard, you're going to be dedicated, and that they're going to not regret hiring you, basically. So once your application is submitted, hopefully you will get a call or an email within the next few days or weeks asking you in for an interview. I have heard that some Starbucks stores do phone interviews, but I think either way what I'm about to say applies to both. So in your face-to-face interview, you need to show that you have all the characteristics that they are looking for. So again, like you did in your application, they want somebody who's
friendly, bubbly, interpersonal skills, unflappable.
You need to go in and show that you are that person. I mean, look at you. You're amazing. You have all the skills. You just need to prove that you do. So you need to go in, you need to be smiley, you need to be friendly, you need to be enthusiastic. I think enthusiasm is very important, because you could have somebody go in for this interview that has worked at a coffee shop for 10 years, has won so many barista awards, but they sit there and they're just like, yeah, so, yeah. Whereas if you're there and you're really enthusiastic and you show that you're really passionate and driven to want this job, then you are really highly likely to get this job. So you can go online and you can Google questions that they ask in Starbucks interviews. And I would highly recommend planning in your head some answers to those questions. I know that they always ask, why do you want to work at Starbucks? So do some research. Why do you want to work at Starbucks? For example, I really want to work at Starbucks because I love the drinks. I have come into Starbucks countless times with friends and had an amazing time having the drinks. My favourite drink is an XYZ. I also really want to work for Starbucks because they're really inclusive and they do a lot of work with LGBT matters and blah, 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 blah. Literally just pull out all the stops and make sure that you are prepared for every question that they could possibly throw at you. Something that I haven't heard anybody say yet is in the interview, you need to show that you're really flexible. I remember they gave me like a grid with hours of the day and days of the week, and they said tick what times you can work, and I just ticked every single box. I mean, at Starbucks they will require you to go in early mornings, late nights, mid shifts, weekends, holidays, so you just need to show that you are keen to do that. It doesn't mean that you're going to have to work all of those horrible hours. It doesn't, because it will be shared out between the staff. But if you just show that you are eager to work whenever, then that's probably going to work in your favour. And at the end of the day, if, say, for example, most Tuesdays you like to do something with a friend, then when you get the job, you can say that you would rather not work those shifts and say work a morning shift that day or an evening shift that day, because I found personally that Starbucks is extremely flexible and they really appreciate that their baristas have lives outside of Starbucks. So if you just show in your interview that you are very flexible, then it's likely that they're going to want to hire you because you're going to be able to support them whenever they need you. So if your interview goes well, you show that you have all the attributes, you show that you've demonstrated those attributes, you come over well, then there's no reason why they shouldn't contact you again and ask you if you want to come in for a trial shift. I have heard before that sometimes they just offer you the job there and then. I wasn't that lucky, but if you are, then amazing, congratulations. But the trial shift, okay, it sounds scary, but they're not expecting anything from you. They're not expecting you to be able to be making 10 drinks at the same time and serving 100 people on the till. They're just expecting you to show that you are willing to learn and that you have good interpersonal skills. And that's not just with the customers you serve. Yes, you need to be friendly with the customers and show that you are going to provide good customer service, but you also need to work well with the team, because at the end of the day, teamwork is one of the things that Starbucks says is very important for them. And from my experience as being a barista, after the trial shift, the manager did ask me what I thought of the people who had their trial shifts that day. If the other baristas like you, then they're gonna put a good word in for you. Like, for example, this one girl came in for her trial shift. She did her trial shift, and at the end of the trial shift, the manager asked me, what did you think of her? And she had been so friendly, so bubbly, so sweet, and I was just like, I loved her. I thought she was so nice, she was hardworking, and the manager said, I'm just a bit worried because of some of her circumstances. And I just said, do you know what? I honestly think that she's amazing. She's great. So that just goes to show you the power of just making a good impression on everyone. So at the end of all that, hopefully you will get a phone call offering you the job. And if so, congratulations. I think to summarise, I would say take your CV in to make a good impression and to show that you are motivated. Use all of the qualities that Starbucks list on their job descriptions in your application. Show that you are enthusiastic and you love the brand. Demonstrate that you have all of the qualities and just be yourself. Honestly, if you are yourself and they don't want you, that's fine. They're missing out because, I mean, you're a catch. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said at the beginning, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss more of my videos, and leave me a comment down below and I will be sure to get back to you. All the best with your applications. If you have any questions or want any advice, just leave me a comment down below and I will get back to you. So yes, sending you lots of love and I'll speak to you soon.